So I got to kick things off first with saying that we're here at Strong New York 2023 and strength, being strong. What does that mean to you?
Being strong, being strong is everything. Being strong, and not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, kind of like being a good person. Like all that means being strong. I think being strong means being able to be courageous and go after the things that you want to go after. It means being a person of action, a person who follows through. I mean, there's so many things I can say about.
Do you feel like
strong.
strength has evolved with you over the years? Maybe your definition is not what it used to be?
For sure. I mean, for me, like I think how you define words matter. Even it stems from my father. When I was younger, I was a tennis player. And my dad used to say, winning is a habit, and unfortunately, so is losing. And I'm like 10 years old. I'm like,
no pressure.
Explain. So I'm like, so I had to kind of, I heard this, I forget who said it, but I heard this from a mental coach, and he said, break down the word win. W-I-N. If you focus on what's important now, you win. So then that makes it have more. You can have this like long-term dream or vision, but then you have to set your small-term goals or short-term goals to achieve that long-term vision, and then it becomes more digestible.
Absolutely.
So that even if you lose the match in tennis, if you were working on, let's say, your backhand, hitting more winners, then you technically won that day. So it's like
there we go.
Affirming what it means in your mind.
What was the mission? What did you show up to do? Did you accomplish that?
Exactly.
Your version versus what maybe other people are saying.
Yeah, and then being able to silence the noise of other people and what they say about, if you're winning or losing. Because most people don't understand the concept of falling forward.
Right. Absolutely, man. See, he gets it. Everybody. That's why we're here. I know a little bit about your background. You have a profound kind of new passion for gratitude, or not that new, but you've gone through some things in your career and your training. Getting out there, getting after it is no stranger to you, and you have this. I heard you talk about this profound experience with gratitude now for what the body is capable of and like what you are capable of doing every day. And I'm right there with you. My audience knows my story with overcoming major injuries, learning how to walk again, and like now, this is life. The gift of life is movement.
Exactly.
How has that shift to gratitude changed what you do physically?
Physically, I just feel like I'm super capable. I don't get upset when I get injured anymore. Like when I first got injured, I was really... That's my niece.
I have more mics if she wants to hop on.
That's my niece.
She's adorable.
She's already training to be a pro tennis player.
She knows where to go for the camera already, too.
Yeah, she's ready. She's like a performer.
She just came from hair and makeup, I can tell.
She did. What was I saying?
Gratitude, the mindset perspective now with injury.
So I was really hard on myself as an athlete. I was one of the, I went into this thing about if I'm losing, I'm going to constantly lose. And if I went on the court, even if I practice and show up, I would beat myself before I compete for a while.
Can you go back and say that again? That's really crucial.
That I would beat myself before I even.
So you were already kind of
I already lost before I stepped on to play the game.
How many other people do you think are doing that?
And in practice, I would win all the time. So it just these fears developed about kind of what other people think about my game, and then you kind of lose the purpose of why you started in the first place. So when I got the injury, and I was really good, my serve was 155 miles per hour. I was also finally winning again.
Which is a good thing. It feels 17, good, right?
Yeah. And then my coach, Nick, who's the Hall of Fame coach, he told me, he's like, you shouldn't go to college, you should play pro now. And then I got hurt.
Jeez.
So I have 280 discs. So I'm trying to shorten this story a little bit. But
it's all important, man. It's all important.
I know. So sorry.
Michael, shut up.
Talk about silencing the noise. But so when I got hurt and I couldn't walk for about for a year, I had to do physical therapy and all that stuff. Luckily, I didn't have to get surgery or anything. But when I finally could move without pain, it was like everything. So everything kind of changed after that, and I didn't really care about what anybody was saying. Like my mind just shifted. I think sometimes you just have to kind of have like either
You got to go through the gauntlet.
you got to go through
something,
where it's like you either move forward and it's your choice and you practice that mindset, which I was trying to do, but then I was kind of forced into that growth in a way where it's like I'm so grateful that I can move the way I move, and then when it's rooted in that, you
can't really go wrong with that.
Yeah.
I think if you're starting from gratitude, really anything you're doing, especially when it comes to your health and your fitness, coming back to that has got to be the most centering thing that we could ever do.
Well, it's almost like your default. So like my default was like
very true.
This like anxiety of competing, which I also loved, and anxiety of like losing or winning. Like I want to win so bad.
So it's either like peak one or peak the other. All right, you're kind of sick like that.
And then now the default is I'm just doing my best, and my best is valid, and because of that, I'm better than I was before. So it's just like.
Well, you're bringing this mentality, you bring in this physicality to the masses. You've got millions across social media. Did you ever think that many people would want to work out with you?
Absolutely.
I knew from the beginning.
Absolutely. I was, when I first became a coach, I was very good at it immediately. I taught at IMG. Nick, again, my coach, came to my court, and his other coaches were like basically telling me I had to kind of do some things differently. And then Nick came on, and Nick's like, he's the only one that's doing it right. Everybody follow Akin.
Really?
So then, and I'm like, I think I started teaching there when I was 19. So then I was like, okay. and it's funny because I wasn't even going to I wasn't thinking about full-time coaching at that time. I was just like, I need to make some money. I wanted to play tennis. I was in college. I had a scholarship.
How do I put all this stuff together?
And then you have this idea as an athlete that if you become a coach, you're the failed athlete. So I was like also fighting with that mindset. Yeah. But it's so funny because my coach is in the Hall of Fame of coaching, 13 halls of fame.
Wow.
He coached 4 generations of top players. And that was like right in front of me, but you can't even see where it could go because you're like closing yourself off to it. So when I finally kind of was like, okay, I can do this, like this can be my career. I was like, holy shit, my coach built a whole academy, Bradenton, Florida. Have you been to IMG academies? You gotta go.
No.
It's like
that's in Florida, right?
In Florida, in Bradenton. It's a giant facility, like
compound.
Yeah. It's like a whole world, and people fly in from all around the world just to train there, and they grow up there. And it's
look at the examples that he's putting out into the world from it.
Yeah.
If you come here, commit, abandon all that.
If you build it, they'll come.
Exactly, yeah.
And there's nothing else really in Bradenton, Florida, but the academy.
Yeah, I believe it.
Like incredible. I mean, it's beautiful, but I wanted to build something like that where it's like a destination location where people travel there just to work out and feel the energy, and it shifts their entire life.
A buddy of mine recently did that. Christian Guzman in Houston, Texas, a big fitness YouTuber guy, just opened up finally through COVID, I think last summer, 18-acre compound for bodybuilding, strength training. He's got basketball courts, American Ninja Warrior course,
amazing
restaurant, co-working space, lounge, like just making this mecca really of the people that are willing to put in the work. Come here and just do the thing, and then when you walk out, like you're taking so much more with you than just the workout.
Yeah, who go? Like, is it like
It's called Alpha Land.
Oh,
you heard of Fitness Apparel Alpha Elite?
I did. Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah,
I
so
saw that.
Alpha Land.
It's great. Yeah,
it's huge. It's massive. I'm going to be there in a couple weeks actually. So I'll hopefully walk out a new warrior. We'll see.
Awesome.
But kind of keeping on the pulse of the social media aspect. Look, my in-laws are Middle Eastern, right? My wife's Iranian American, and I've been together for like 10 years. We've been together 10 years. What I've been doing here is about 7 years old. I still feel like I'm trying to explain to my in-laws like what I do for a living. How does that translate for you, man, with like the culture and the difference, or is there one for you?
For me, I mean, my parents put me to IMG academies when I was 7. My sister also played tennis, and we both
so they kind of knew what they were getting into.
My brother was a golfer. They love sports. So like my cousins also trained at IMG.
So you guys are all in.
Yeah, I come from a family of like athletes. My other cousins are like national water polo players in Turkey. So like they like every and
Are they
one
like
of my
selling
cousins
your
owns a
blood yet,
gym.
or what's good? Like, can we get some of that?
So
Are you
like
at a booth?
actually, you should see my mom is like fitter than anyone I know. She's 65 and she can like
She's got to hold that
outlast
standard, I bet.
Yeah, and my dad trains with us too. So it's like a whole family thing. My sister trains with us now too, but she does the retail for Army.
Okay.
My brother and his wife are both coaches for me as well. We all work together, and they're like founding coaches of Army as well. So it's like a whole family affair.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. And speaking of your coaching, one of the quotes that I found from you was, I think, paramount, a great thing that everybody needs to remember. Through movement, I'm getting you to unlock your greatness.
Yes.
How do you do that through coaching?
So the way I see it is it's skill building, just like tennis was skill building for me, and it becomes like it becomes emotional. It becomes your life, and through that you learn how to do like everything
Truly.
you need,
Yeah.
every skill you need to have to, or not even the skill. Every I call it like a blueprint. You know, you kind of have the blueprint. If you can build this skill, you can build whatever else you want to build.
Just take this and overlay it onto the next project. You're going to add on, but
Exactly.
overlay, add, overlay,
Exactly.
add.
And I simplify it because it's like the way I coach is I coach all levels. I think for me, when I played people that were better than me, I got better quicker. I got faster. My reflexes became faster. So we train all levels together. But the coaching is what you got to listen to, and you can see where it's going to go. But you start at level 1. So like really like creating or coaching in a way where it's like specifically like you can understand it and comprehend it. Like, okay, I just came here. I should start at level 1. And then here's level 2. I'm aspiring to that. And then here's level 3 is my long-term goal.
But what does level 1 even look like with you guys? Because I've seen the workouts, man.
Yeah, so if I start... Like,
even level 1's got to be pretty intimidating.
Let's say like we're doing like a sequence for abs. I start with a crunch. That's the base move. That's level 1. If anything
Everybody can do that.
If I add on something, and the pace too, you can go at your own pace. If I add on a sit-up, that's level 2.
Okay.
And then I'll add on a weighted sit-up, that would be level 3.
Gotcha.
You know? So it's like, and I start with it, and then I add on the levels as we do it, and the people that are ready for that next level will start doing that, and then everybody else will stay at, but everyone's moving toward a goal.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. And, and in that, you guys build a phenomenal community. Community, I think, is the core of what Army is up to, and it seems like you as well. But that's not an easy thing to do, especially in the health, fitness, wellness space. I think everybody or most people are trying to build that community along with them because that's really sustainable. That's how you grow, how you scale. How do you focus on building? And how do you focus on maintaining? Are they two separate entities for you, or is it all in the same?
Well, for me, it's I love what I do. I love getting people to kind of come alive.
Which, by the way, I just want to say, you guys got to look at the video for this. When you just said, I love what I do, like the look on your face, dude, you just like lit up, started smiling. Like, that's no bullshit.
Yeah, I love it.
About your passion.
I do it every hour. Like, I wake up at 5. I have a 6 a.m. class, or we call it practice. 7 a.m., 8:30, 10, 12. I'm teaching all those sessions. And then I'll have like film sessions. I don't know, 1 or 2, and then we have like, because I'm the founder
you're doing
and
all of
CEO,
them.
so then we're doing marketing meetings and some other things, tech meetings, and then we'll do a couple more sessions at night. Like I do it all day long so that the athletes have a chance to build it. Like if you want to get really good, there's no excuse. I teach every hour, and then I built the app so that if you can't come in person or you don't live in New York, you can do the app at any time you want to do it. So like cutting out the excuse. If you want to build it, you can build it.
Yeah. Again, if you build it, they will come.
Yeah. So when you show up like that, people with that kind of mindset, or people that want to have that mindset, start to show up, and then you build the team. So within I kind of see it as team sports. I don't even call it community because I think team is different because. Community, I said this recently as well. I think community is great, but I think they'll coddle you and they'll tell you what you want to hear. And like sometimes, but the team like Army too.
Right, yeah.
The team will hold you accountable. They will get you to fight for your life.
Because everybody is there for the same mission.
Yeah, and you're going to show up as your best. And if you're not going to show up as your best, like, why are you going to show up?
Yeah.
Like, do your best that day. It doesn't have to mean that you have to, you know, surpass your best. Like, do your best every day, and without comparing yourself. And then people become leaders in the team, and then they start acting like leaders. So then I'll put certain people next to each other because I know like the leader is going to help this new person.
Just like commanding general. No, you're like literally,
basically like
literally.
And I call them captains. And like, there's this whole dynamic where it's a team that you're walking into when you first come in, and there's like high-fiving and celebrating each other and celebrating each other's breakthroughs, and there's this like energy that happens when you come in where you immediately feel like you belong. Like, this is my team.
That's the goal. That's the goal. So, all right, kind of through the lens of like, you know, the business aspect, a lot of my audience, you know, I used to be there as well. You know, you're growing, scaling your group coaching, your one-on-one, your app, your whatever. Getting other people to buy into your vision as much as you are attached to it, I think is one of the most difficult things. How do you spot, how do you groom, how do you coach these other people to fall in love with your mission as much as you do, so that the whole picture can rise together while also filling them up, while also letting them kind of strive towards something on their end?
I think it's leading by example. You know, I think when you love something, like, people want, like, they're drawn to it too, and they like they start to live and breathe it. And then when it impacts their lives and they change and they're more confident, they're more outgoing, they're more courageous, they get behind it. And I think there's phases to people's lives, just like me. When I had, you know, I think I got there sooner because I started working when I was 7 years old.
There's no quotes here. There's work. It's work.
It's work. I mean, you're training 6 to 8 hours a day, every day at 7 years old.
That's work.
So I started working so young, and I think I went through a whole mental journey and kind of inward journey where it was about me, and then it was not about me, and you know, like, you go through phases of your life. And being patient with people in their phases. I think
I like that.
Something that stuck out with me when I trained at IMG is you see when a kid has it. Like, you can see it very early on if they have the mindset to go all the way. Some people build it, but you literally have a timeline to build that mindset. And so people put more effort into the people who have already been unlocked at a young age.
I'm sure.
In sports. You have to.
Yeah,
it's business. So I said, when I coach, I started coaching pros, which is great. But then I shifted into what I do now, where I do coach some pro athletes as well as the everyday person. And I will be patient and take the time with them to have their unlock when they're going to have their unlock.
Yeah.
You know?
So well said, man.
So it's a little different in that sense, where it's like you have the time. You know, at Army, we're going to push you, but I'm also patient that you have, like, it's not going to run out. You can keep coming back until you
incredible
figure
leadership
it out.
right there. That's incredible.
You know?
Yeah. You know, and speaking of Army, you know, Akin's Army, right? That's the
it's Army now.
Army, just Army. Okay. And you know,
it started with Akin's Army.
Well, it's AARMY, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of like the loose story behind it, right?
Yeah.
And I heard that you kind of got that in homage to the people that believed in your vision getting started.
So they called themselves Army.
Okay.
Yeah. So I used to teach at Crunch when I first moved into the city. And I would have 6 a.m. sessions, and sometimes I'd have to sub because I was doing other work too. So I'd have to sub at 6 a.m. and they wouldn't,
as one does in the fitness space.
Yeah, and they wouldn't email out anybody, so everyone would show up, but it would be another coach.
Ah, okay.
and so they would, like, all the people that would come for me would get really upset, and they're like, Akin, you need to start a Facebook page. And I was like, okay. And they're like, and
Control your people.
They're like, then call us Akin's Army, and then post on there if you're subbing, if you're like teaching somewhere else, blah blah blah, and we'll come.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's a good idea. So I did that, and then the same thing happened with like, why don't you make retail? So I made my first logo, and I at the time at American Apparel they were doing like screen printing.
Oh
on shirts.
yeah.
So I did that, and I gave everybody shirts, and then they're like, "Why don't you do a
asked
website?"
for it.
Yeah. So I would just keep doing whatever they asked for when they asked for it. So then eventually we got to this. But one of my business partner, Trey Laird, he's in the creative director world in fashion. And I convinced him to do AARMY with me. He's like a branding genius.
Oh, great.
So once we did that, we just kind of like took off.
Man, it sounds like you've got an incredible group of people that believed in you from the beginning. And the reason I brought up that question is because, a lot of us now or have been for a while in pursuit of our vision. Mm-hmm. We're doing the hours, doing the thing when maybe no one else but ourselves believes in us. How do we push through when no one else believes in what we're doing except for ourselves? How did you?
No one else has to believe it at first. You have to believe it. If you don't believe it, why should anybody else? So the way I started it, coaching, is just like I just knew I was good at it.
Yeah.
And then I really would educate myself. Even with injuries, I'd be like, oh, this is great. I can learn how to heal this as fast as possible. And then I'll
out of commission.
Yeah,
Yes,
and I'll be a better coach.
Yeah.
And not out of commission. Like I twisted my ankle. I tripped on a Bosu ball when I was filming during COVID, and my ankle was like this, and I twisted my ankle so many times during playing tennis. But I went to like a foot specialist, and they were like, "It's going to take 6 months. You can't do anything." I'm like, "Nope, not good enough." And
Challenge accepted.
I was back in 3 days.
3 days.
3 days, and I did a proprioceptive Bosu ball program to heal my ankle, but then everybody got stronger because of it.
Then did you create a program around it for AARMY? Put it in?
Yeah. I
oh
did.
shit!
And then,
Genius,
and then I like the same thing. Like I pulled my hamstring playing paddle tennis like 4 weeks ago. Actually, I think I probably tore it. And
you're up here walking?
Yeah, no,
Dude,
I
I've been
healed
through
it.
a torn hamstring.
I healed it.
Damn.
But it popped and I couldn't walk.
Yeah.
I don't think it was like a major tear, but it was bad. And then I just like let it heal a little bit, but teaching still.
Yeah.
And then I was just doing glute activations constantly, and like really made it about like strengthening that. And then like my RDLs and all that stuff in the program.
All the shit that nobody wants to do.
But it's like it worked, and I healed myself quickly, and I'm back playing paddle tennis again.
Again, somebody please bottle his blood and put it on display for us.
It is. It's like everything becomes this like, oh, this is great. It's an obstacle. It's a challenge. It's going to make me better. And I'm a coach, so the more I know about how to heal someone as fast as I can, if I've lived it, not just reading it.
You're more valuable.
Exactly. So it's like anything that happens, especially in what I do, I know what the common injuries are, and I know how to heal it or prehab it, which is in the program of how we train. Anyway,
crucial, man. I mean, so you guys are really hitting it all from all sides.
Yeah.
What's up next for you? What's up next for AARMY? Like, do you want to take this leg of the fitness industry, and maybe where do you kind of see the fitness industry going now?
I mean, I think it's infinite what it could be. I have a couple things I'm working on. I told you one of my biggest dreams was to like make it a sport.
Yeah.
Another avenue is I've been doing like a world tour, where I go and I
like an AARMY pop-up.
Pop-ups, but like I taught about like 600 to 800 people in Mexico, like with this like huge like event, like a music festival type thing. I went to Brussels, where the ARC
is. Is everyone on a bike or doing the workout?
There's we do bike or boot camp.
Whoa,
And they like find like 600 bikes, and we're all moving together. And it's just like insane state shifting experience. So I kind of see it as like, you know how when DJs first started, it was just kind of like, in their garage kind of mixing
usually
music. And then now they sell out stadiums and concerts. So I think fitness is heading that way, and I think we can kind of like pioneer that And,
All right, I'm calling it now. Fitness, Army and Diplo collab needs to happen. You need to get that out there, man.
For sure. So I think it's going to be like a big thing where it's like thousands of people come to move, but also I've merged the mindset piece and the physical piece, so people can also like watch and listen, kind of like a mindset piece, like Tony Robbins.
Well, hold on. So just watch the workout.
They can watch,
listen,
or they
but
can
not
work
actually
out.
participate.
They could, yeah.
And you are programming here, for lack of a better word, or maybe that's the best word, the mindset component, so that someone
It's
can
always
still
programmed.
extract from the workout without
Exactly.
the physical aspect.
Yeah.
Holy
Because
shit,
there was
man.
also, I have like athletes that train with me, and through them, their family hears
I'm
me
sure.
coach.
Yeah.
There was one story. This athlete of mine, Gabby, her brother during COVID, they were training. She was training with me, but her brother had lost his job. He went back home with his parents, and like all these things were going wrong. And he was listening to a practice she was taking online, and it made him jumpstart his writing career. And he decided, from what he heard me say that day, to write a script. And then he sold it to Warner Brothers and made like $2 million.
From overhearing a workout video.
Yeah, exactly.
Holy shit, dude. That's incredible.
And we were like, there's other things. Like I work with this company called Meltwater, and we do like custom programs for them, like filmed. And then they have, I guess, teammates all around the world. So they train together, and they do AARMY, curated for them. And we do it based off of a little bit off of like where they are company-wise or mindset-wise, where they want to go, what they should be thinking about, about leadership and all that stuff. So they came back to me and they were like, "Hey, Akin, we love it. The first one was awesome. We do have some people that want to also be a part of this, but they can't, like they physically can't do the workouts." I'm
smiling because I'm just imagining the million and one places this is going.
Yeah.
Like,
So I was like, okay, what can I do? So I decided to do like journaling, incorporated into the workout, and then specific mindset coaching.
This man is single-handedly taking the personal development world and just mainlining it into a workout.
Well, it's because I think like I've always learned through movement. Like I said, in tennis, your entire game plan is drilled into you through consistent repetition of the movement. And then it's on autopilot. So you can free yourself. So body knows what to do, but you can free yourself to see what your opponent's doing, and then you can respond accordingly.
Yeah.
And I think like sitting in a room and listening to it doesn't always do the job. Why not get you on autopilot thinking this way?
I mean, I can just imagine, you're going through something physically demanding, like one of your workouts, or, any workout really. But if you have that same kind of programming, self-talk, or external talk coming in.
Like you're in a moment where it's like you're like literally dying.
Yeah.
And you have a choice to make. You can either keep holding on, either one rep or whatever, or you can give up, where most people give up. That's their default. So if you like feed the courage to keep going, and that's your daily practice, it's on autopilot. So like whenever you're faced with it anywhere, like it also is like sometimes when you listen to something, it goes in one ear, out the other.
Yep.
This way, it's like you are literally like torn open, and you have
the
to hear
sadistic
it.
Smile with that.
Like you have to hear it.
Truly, man.
Like that's when it it's like clicks, and then it's yours. It's your mindset.
No one can take that away from you.
No.
That's the most important
And
part.
you did it. Like you made it through it. Like you thought you couldn't, and you did it. And
you're going to do it again and again and again.
Yeah.
Well, man, I definitely would love to have you back on for kind of like a full story. But, this has been incredible connecting with you. So many little nuggets here and what you're doing. Love what you guys are up to at AARMY. The last question I got to ask you, and you kind of just were hitting on a little bit, to move forward in life, to keep moving ever forward, as I say. How do you do that? What does that mean to you? How do you live a life ever forward?
I mean, I've been talking about this lately. I heard Denzel Washington's speech on falling forward. Have you heard that?
I think I just saw the same clip that you're about to say.
Yeah. It's like you got to fall forward. Like, why are you going to fall back? Like, what is this like? Like this backup plan? There's no backup plan. What's great about what we get to do is I can do it anywhere. Like we had COVID, I went on Instagram. We can go on YouTube. You can go on TikTok. Like there's all these platforms where you can still do what you do, and you can do it from your home if you wanted to. So there's no fear of failing at this venture of mine. So it's just like and things are going to come up, but it's all lessons, and then it makes you a better coach. It makes you a better human. It makes you more empathetic. It makes you more understanding. Like there's so many things you get from just moving forward.
There's never a right or wrong answer, man. There's always
Sorry.
yours answer. You're good. There's always yours, and it's the right one for right now.
Yeah.
So, dude, such a pleasure. Love what you guys are up to.
Thank you.
And that's a wrap. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.